Mr. Roshan Antony Coelho from the Department of Hospitality Science, Syllabus College, Bangalore. So the topic for the day is the chapter 2, that is environmental pollution and its management. So what is pollution? So pollution is basically introducing some harmful substances into the environment that is a result of us human activities. So basically under the syllabus we have a lot of types of pollution, but here under the syllabus we just have 3 types specifically mentioned here. So today we'll go through the specific 3 types. The first one is the water pollution, second one is the air pollution, and the third one is the noise pollution. So what is water pollution? So water pollution is basically the contamination of water bodies usually resulting in human activities. That is, those water bodies include the lakes, the rivers, the aquifers, the oceans, and the groundwater. Now water pollution results when we introduce some kind of contaminants into the water or into the natural resources. So what are the causes of water pollution? So this can be categorized into 2 points. That is, first one is point sources and second one is the non-point sources. As the name states there, point sources which can be easily identified, that is me and you can easily identify the source there and we can reduce the amount of pollution that is taking place. But under non-point sources it is not possible to control these factors as they are out of human reach. So the first one includes, that is the point sources, which are the points that are included here. So first one is the factories, the sewage system, the power plants, underground coal mines, oil wells are some of the direct sources of point sources. So under point sources we can control all these things over here, that is especially factories, the waste that is given out from factories, we can control those waste, as well as the sewage system by properly treating the water using proper treatments. Then we have power plants, then we have coal mines, we have oil wells where we can use certain methods to reduce all kind of problems that are coming up facing from them. Then we have something called as a non-point sources, but as the name states, non-point sources, which is we cannot control the factors over here. So basically the example given over here is when rain or snow moves through the ground and picks up pollutants as it moves towards a major body of water. So the best example is at the second point, that is the runoff fertilizers from farm animals and croplands. Now what happens is in a particular farmland where they use high amounts of fertilizer, what happens is these fertilizers get accumulated in the soil, and when it starts heavily raining or when it starts snowing, what happens is if it is a steep slope, the water washes down the fertilizer and thus making it go to the major water bodies, maybe some lakes or through some oceans or any other major water bodies. Now what happens is there's a process called as eutrophication. Now what is eutrophication? When the excess fertilizer which is there goes into the water, it creates a firm layer over it, or a small layer over the water beds. Now as the sunlight falls on this layer, it starts growing, the algae starts growing over there, and thus when the sunlight gets blocked there, the marine life which is present over there gets killed off. And basically other things are the air pollutants getting washed or deposited to the earth. Next we have storm water drainage from the lawns, parking lots and streets. Basically we have air pollutants, that is our air is a mixture of a lot of gases. Now what happens is when it rains, sometimes we get acid rains. Now these acid rains are the conflicts of these things, that is the pollutants getting washed on from the clouds. We have some very harmful substances coming down, and thus that is the reason we get acid rains, and these acid rains are the cause of skin diseases as well in human beings as well as in some other living organisms. So next pollution is air pollution. Now what is air pollution? Is another presence of substance in the atmosphere that is harmful for the health of humans as well as the other living organisms as well. We have different types of pollutant, that is our air is a mixture of a lot of gases. So basically some of the deadlier gases are the ammonia, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide, and methane and chlorofluorocarbons. Now chlorofluorocarbons is also one of the most deadliest one, as it is also present in your hairsprays. We can say the beauty products that we use, the hairspray has some quantity of the CFCs or the chlorofluorocarbons, as well as your refrigerators. You might have noticed your refrigerator has a tank at its rear side. So when this tank gets leaked off for some reasons, it gives off the chlorofluorocarbon gases, which is very dangerous to the human health. So what are the causes? So as I said, some of the gases, these are the gases, that is carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons and hydrocarbons, nitrous oxide, we have lead components, we have suspended particulate. So these are all the major things that are contributing to the air pollution. So what are natural air pollutants? So basically this is I think in the year 2020 we had one incident where the Amazon rainforest as well as the wildfire in Australia had caused a lot of problems to the animal life over there. So this is one of the cause, that is the wildfires. This is caused either naturally due to the heat produced by the sun or due to some volcanic activities in that area. So, but one thing is, whenever there's a wildfire which is caused by nature, not by man, but when it's caused by nature, there's a tendency that a new forest always emerges from the ashes. It is whatever the earth destroys, it will once again bring it back and in tenfolds. So that is wildfires. Then we have methane released from livestock as well as we have volcanic eruptions. So these are one of the major contributors to the natural air pollutants. So what are the consequences of air pollution? We have a lot of consequences, especially for human health. People with breathing problems, asthma and other bronchitis and all other problems, they have problems in health, that is breathing. So basically this is the cause, that is the various gases that are present in the air are harmful for the human beings as well as the animals as well. That is why our bodies get intoxicated. Next is, what is noise pollution? So basically this pollution is not given much importance because it does not have its importance, but it is causing a lot of problems day by day as time goes on. So what is noise pollution? So basically the word noise is derived from the Latin word nausea, which means sickness. In other words, you feel like you're having a drowsy head, or you feel like you're going to puke or vomit. So noise is the unpleasant and undesirable sound which leads to discomfort in human beings. That is undesirable, that is you don't like to hear this sound. Where for example you have a stingy neighbor who plays rock and roll music at a very high volumes, which you don't like it, or even your neighbors don't like it, but he does it. So that is causing you some problems, that is causing you some irritations. So that is discomfortability when you reach a certain amount of hearing. So basically the intensity of sound is measured in decibels. We measure sound in decibels, or we say dB. The short form abbreviation is dB. So the faintest sound which can be heard by a human ear is 1 dB. So this is the slightest amount of the sound that a human ear can perceive is 1 decibel. So what are the types of noise pollution? We have transport noise, we have neighborhood noise, and we have industrial noise. So what are the causes of all these noise pollutions? Basically one is industrialization. Right from the 19th century, when the industrial revolution began, we have started using a lot of machineries for building buildings as well as other product manufacturing as well. So when we are using a lot of machineries, there is a lot of sound produced over there. That is one of the causes of pollution. Then we have vehicles. So basically nowadays we have upsurge in vehicles where they use a lot of petrol as well as other things. But now we are coming up with the electric side as well. But the major contribution in noise pollution in vehicles is that they are horns. You know, in certain areas, especially near institution as well as near in hospital areas, it is prohibited for honking. But as people are, some people who are educated act uneducated, and they honk in certain places which they are not supposed to do it, causing a misery to the people in the hospitals where they need rest and proper peace to heal themselves. Then we have events and construction sites. Basically in construction sites, when the buildings are being built over there, there are a lot of machinery used, as well as the people who work there might use certain equipments to build certain things, and thus causing a lot of noise over there. So what are the effects of noise pollution? As I said, not many give heed to this kind of pollution because it is causing problem, but they do not know it. So what are those problems? The first one is hypertension. Now what is hypertension? It is a blood pressure. So basically when you hear a loud amount of noises, you start getting more and more blood pressure. Your blood pressure rises because of the noise that you are hearing, the uncomfortable noise. Next is hearing loss and sleeping disorder. Now hearing loss, this is not known right now. When you are young, you don't notice this, but day by day we are slowly losing our hearing capabilities, and when we reach our prime age, that is where we actually come to know we have lost our hearing capabilities because of this. That is, we are listening to high noises here in our younger time. Next we have sleeping disorders. Basically some people don't get sleep at night, and they might think that using of their phones and other things might be the problem, but they do not give heed to other things as well as listening to music. Some people listen to very loud music in the daytime, or maybe they are in some work in their workplace or in some industry where there are a lot of noises from the equipments and machinery. So that noise is responsible for your sleeping disorders. This is because the brain is tending to keep yourself alert, because when you are in a noisy environment, your brain is on a fight or flight mode. Basically it is trying to save yourself from the surroundings. But what happens is when you try to rest, it is still in that state, in the flight or flight mode, what we say. So basically that is why you don't get sleep over there. And finally we have something called as a cardiovascular issues, which is related to your heart. So basically what happens is, you might have heard somewhere where people listening to loud voices may pass off due to cardiac arrest. This is because their hearts are weak. We term it as their hearts are weak. So basically what happens is, when they listen to very loud noises suddenly, abruptly, what happens is they are the heart starts gets a jitter, sudden jitter, and that is why they fall into a cardiac arrest, and thus sometimes losing their lives as well. So what can we do to prevent the noise pollution? So basically what we can do is, in our surrounding we can plant many trees. Now what trees will account in prevention of noise pollution? As the trees get older and older, they start giving off dense leaves, as well as it gives a bushy appearance. Now what happens is, as the waves, that is the sound waves, travels through the air, what happens is, because of the dense bushing of the tree leaves, it captures the noise. The noise is captured by the trees, hence reducing the noise that is coming up to you. And other things are making the rules stricter near the no horns area or no honk area, and also the legal actions to be taken against the people who use unwanted horns or honks, what we say, above the decibel level. So all these things to be taken care of in order to prevent the noise pollution. So with this I basically end the pollution topic. Thank you.